It is my honor to co-host this event and for you to learn more about what I believe is one of the most exciting projects in the entire world, which is, of course, Telegram, the main competitor to Meta and the first privacy-focused, data protection-focused social media app that doesn't actually sell your data or give it away to governments or companies, which is a breath of fresh air. It also, I think it might help a little bit for me to introduce myself and my background for you to understand why this is so incredibly important to me and why I have co-founded AlphaTON Capital Corp, Nasdaq ATON, in order to become the largest investor in the Telegram ecosystem. So. Thank you. My name is Brittany Kaiser. I'm the CEO of AlphaTON Capital, Nasdaq ATON. I started my career as a human rights lawyer and quickly got into technology at the same time because I saw data science and the ways that you could use data could be the most transformative technologies on the planet, both for politics, for the private sector, and in general, I wanted to go as deep as I could on the data science side. Now, if you're coming from a human rights law perspective and getting into technology, you might quickly find some structural issues in the way that technology functions, where most technology companies are inherently extractive. They are built in order to take as much data as possible and make the user the product instead of protecting users' rights and empowering users when using those technology platforms. So for me, in my first technology job, and the first job where I opened an office in New York City, I actually ended up becoming a whistleblower and helping co-author most of the foundational laws on blockchain data protection, digital asset ownership, and fiduciary responsibility in technology for the United States. I have served on multiple US congressional committees on blockchain, fintech, and digital innovation and helped author a lot of the foundational laws that actually give us digital rights, not just in this country, but helped introduce them all over the world. That's how I entered the blockchain space full time. On the regulatory side, I think everyone here that has worked in digital assets has been aware that it has been rather difficult to be an American and build big businesses in this industry for quite a long time. Finally, we've been released from that PTSD. And we can truly build large-scale digital asset businesses in the United States without the type of pushback on the regulatory side that we have had for the past 15 years. So for me, I have looked at what are the biggest opportunities in the entire technology space. If you look at the top 5 most used apps in the world, the first 2 are Meta-owned properties. So that's WhatsApp and Instagram. And then there's WeChat and TikTok, and then Telegram. One of those 5 is not like the others. There is an incredible, legendary founder called Pavel Durov. He is the founder and CEO of Telegram, and he started this as the first ever encrypted messaging app in order to protect protesters from governments getting access to their data. And it went viral, so he decided to launch it as a company and was the inventor of encrypted messaging apps, the first data protection tool that existed around the world for actually using advanced forms of encryption and communication technology. He later invented exploding messages so that none of your data, if you choose, would actually remain on company servers. These types of innovations are so incredibly important because I think we've seen what happens to companies when they have data breaches, when they lose the trust of their users, and when their brands become tarnished by deciding that it is more important to focus only on revenue production and not on technology and ethics, and always being able to make sure that they are doing the right things for both their shareholders and users. So I have always been impressed by Telegram. I have used their app for over 10 years, and I think most people here, how many people have Telegram on their phone in this room? Yeah, there's 87 million Americans that have Telegram on their phone, and over 1 billion monthly active users around the world, closely getting to 1.5 billion already. It's a very rapidly growing app. It's in the top 5 most downloaded and used apps in the world. And it is one of the only massive technology companies, if not the only, that is 100% owned by the CEO and founder. Every single share is owned by Pavel Durov. It is a private company where Pavel says he's not taking it public, and he refuses to sell any shares because he doesn't want any shareholder pressure to sell user data or to give user data away to government. So the opportunity in Telegram is that Telegram is one of the biggest technology companies in the world without any institutional or retail investor access, which is incredible. And the amount of demand for investor access to Telegram has been huge. It means a lot of the biggest funds around the world, but especially in America, from Sequoia to Ribbit to Benchmark to Draper, have all invested in Telegram bonds because they won't sell shares, or in the TON token, which is now the native, fully vertically integrated blockchain in the back end of Telegram. So those are 2 opportunities, but what else is an incredible opportunity is the fact that Telegram has tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of revenue-producing businesses that function in its ecosystem, from gaming to DeFi to other business applications that use Telegram as its main functionality. Those are huge opportunities that a lot of this user base growing and getting investor access to it could make it even more of a competitor with Meta than it already is. And it's something that is still such a huge opportunity that I was so lucky that my co-founder, Enzo Villani, who's also our executive chairman and CIO, asked me in May if I wanted to launch a company on Nasdaq with him that was focused on Telegram and TON. And I had, just a few months earlier, had dinner with Pavel Durov in Paris, where he actually told me everything he was doing and his plans, and how hard it was to describe how important it was that he was the only large-scale social media platform in the world that refused to give away user data and would actually protect you in using it. That's the reason why some multinational corporations and even governments are using Telegram 100% for all of their communications. So having technologies like this and having institutional and retail investor access to these technologies is so incredibly important. He also told me that when I became a whistleblower against Facebook, that it was one of the largest influxes of new users he ever had. So I thought, well, this is probably an opportunity for me to get back in there. And so when Enzo asked, would you like to do this together, I said, absolutely. That is probably the most important thing we could possibly do, is give the entire world access to help Telegram grow. So that's what we did, and we started taking it to market over the summer, and I think it's been about 40 days now since we took over the company, and we are so proud to be doing what we are doing, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit more in detail about it. So I'm going to go over a little bit more of our mission and strategy, some of our investment highlights, because we've made quite a lot of announcements over the past few weeks, more about the Telegram ecosystem, and a little bit about our executive leadership team. So we are here to offer institutional and retail investors alike liquid compliant exposure to both TON and the Telegram-based Web3 innovation. For those of you that don't know, TON token came out in 2021, but only really this year has Telegram fully vertically integrated it throughout their entire platform. So now you own everything from your handle to, if you want, your private phone number to your .ton URL, but your handle, your digital identity in Telegram is something that you own as an on-chain asset. Telegram can't delete you. They can't stop you from owning that. So that is yours, which is, again, something completely unlike what happens on any other social media platform. So we're very focused on building and owning core revenue generating infrastructure that powers this Telegram-based economy, from the rails, like validator and node infrastructure, to adding GPUs to Telegram's only recently announced decentralized AI inference network where you can mine TON. We are interested in all of that on the hardware side and on the software side. We aim to provide access to the ecosystem's growth using a public vehicle. Obviously, everyone comes to Nasdaq for the incredible opportunity for liquidity and also to be able to provide high growth opportunities for what Nasdaq companies are investing in. And we are directly aligning our success with the network's growth, deploying all of our not just our crypto native treasury management, but also a large-scale M&A strategy across the Telegram ecosystem where revenue-producing positive EBITDA companies have the opportunity to IPO through us. So on September 3rd, we took over a company called Portage Biotech, which was Nasdaq PRTG, and we rebranded it as AlphaTON Capital, Nasdaq ATON, and we announced our TON Treasury strategy as our first large-scale investment in the Telegram ecosystem. On September 25th, we closed $71 million in financing and purchased our first $30 million of TON tokens. On September 30th, we signed an LOI with Health and Tech, Nasdaq HIT, where Dustin is an officer, to develop HitChain, a blockchain-enabled healthcare insurance platform to be able to do instant on-chain healthcare claims in the United States. October 1st, we proposed a strategic acquisition of a majority stake in a top Telegram gaming company called Gami. It's an Animoca Brands subsidiary and one of the largest gaming apps in all of Telegram. It's over 100 different games. They've been around for 10 years. They have 63 million users and 120 million downloads. It's absolutely huge. It also has an in-game ad network and 2 different tokens where you can play to earn. On October 6th, we announced that our subsidiary, that we're working with our subsidiary, Syncado, where we took all the biotech assets of the company that we took over, and it's in a subsidiary. And we announced a funding model for their cancer research, which is currently in phase 1, tokenizing their mesothelioma assets in order to advance their phase 1 clinical trial to phase 2. On October 29th, we announced a strategic investment in GPU infrastructure in order to power Cocoon decentralized AI network. So last Wednesday, Pavel Durov from Stage in Dubai, he only makes 1 to 2 public announcements per year, public speeches per year. He announced that Telegram was launching their own decentralized AI inference network, which will be the largest one in the world very quickly with over 1 billion monthly active users, and where a lot of the biggest and most used AI agents and bots all function in Telegram. These don't function in too many other platforms, messengers, or social media companies. Telegram is the hot spot for AI activity. So that's hugely exciting, and we are making a large investment in GPUs in order to add that power to the network. And you can mine TON when you add GPU to the network, which will grow our treasury. And just this morning, we announced our partnership with PagoPay and Alt5 and World Liberty Financial to bring TON-native Mastercards to market. This is the first TON-enabled Mastercard that has been approved by Mastercard. We're incredibly excited about it. And it will be TON, USD1, and any other currencies we decide to add to it. And you will be able to natively spend from your TON wallet. So we are very excited about that. Our strategic roadmap is really to help scale the ecosystem, the use of the TON blockchain, as well as exciting applications within the Telegram ecosystem. So we've announced that Gami acquisition strategy, so moving towards Gami acquisition. So we have a revenue-producing company that has been growing 25% year on year and is making serious revenue to our portfolio companies, and to continue with M&A expansion. You'll hear a lot more about that from our Chief Investment Officer, Enzo Villani, very shortly. We have treasury growth targets to achieve at least $100 million of TON tokens, where we are earning TON on TON rewards and more TON per share for our shareholders. and cross-platform monetization between Telegram apps, payment systems, messaging, and our own distribution channels. So we really plan to have a strategic roll-up execution where we are targeting interesting opportunities that are revenue producing and positive EBITDA are close to that, and where we know that we can take them into seriously profitable companies, because every time we add those and expand our market cap, we can invest back into those companies a lot faster with so much more speed than those companies would ever be able to grow as private companies. So some of our investment highlights so far is really that we are the first pure play Telegram exposure vehicle, the only listed vehicle that is focused 100% on Telegram and everything that Telegram represents. We're also M&A driven for revenue acceleration. I think a lot of other companies in the space that have a crypto treasury are just focused on the treasury. The treasury is just one part of our strategy because it is an asset that is important to the Telegram ecosystem, but our M&A strategy is our main focus, where we can have everything from gaming to DeFi to other business applications like healthcare, from tokenizing research assets to building entire on-chain platforms for applications like healthcare claims with other large-scale Nasdaq companies, and even we've now gone into the payments business as of this morning in partnership with Nasdaq Alts. So really excited about that. And we really have a world-class team that bridges TradFi and Web3. There's not that many people in Web3 that have a lot of Nasdaq experience. Enzo worked at Nasdaq for a long time, was head of strategy here, and built a lot of the corporate solutions here at Nasdaq. This is my third company that I've taken public on Nasdaq. The last one was one of the world's largest Bitcoin mining companies. It was called Griffin Digital Mining. It is now American Bitcoin, Nasdaq ABTC. And of course, we have Yuri Matin, who has been a huge investor in secondaries in a lot of the biggest and most successful tech companies in the world. And we have a growing team. I mean, everybody raise your hand if you are working with or for AlphaTON Capital right now. We have so many partners in the room. Oh my God, thank you guys for being here, and thank you for all of the hard work that you do. So we're really flipping the DAT model on its head and saying, you know, a treasury is here to shore up a balance sheet and to provide our investors with a unique opportunity to see the growth of the network that we're investing in. But we're interested in the entirety of the Telegram network, which is one of the biggest in the world. So we're very excited to be leading this and to have strategic positioning for TON and Telegram, especially in the US market. TON actually only became available to Americans, the 87 million Americans that have it on their phone, July 22nd. So for the past couple of years, the rest of the world has started to get access to this network, and due to positive changes in the regulatory atmosphere here, TON is now being listed by US exchanges. First, it is already on Kraken. It's going to be added to Coinbase and many others. And the TON wallet, which if you guys don't know, if you open up Telegram on your phone and you go to settings, at the top you can now click open wallet. And you actually have a crypto wallet on your phone that you probably didn't know was there. And you can buy, trade, earn currencies, and you can also own your handle, your digital identity on Telegram. You can own your in-game assets, your gifts, your stickers. Those are all on-chain assets. So this is the first social media company in the world where you actually own all of your data and digital assets, which is something that I have been hoping for and begging for publicly for over a decade. So proud to support this company and the legendary founder, Pavel Durov, and everything that the Telegram team is doing. So we're excited to be the institutional gateway, not just to TON, but to Telegram, and be distinct from a lot of other digital asset treasuries, and really to be aligned with the opportunity of having over 1 billion monthly active users to incubate, accelerate, and even launch our own businesses in Telegram as part of our public company portfolio, and really have an efficiency advantage of being able to get public markets, cost of capital, and invest in formerly private companies and grow them at scale very quickly. So our M&A strategy is really, what we are focused on, and I think I would love to give Enzo Villani, our Chief Investment Officer, more time to really go through that and take you through both our Treasury strategy, our M&A strategy, and some of the very exciting new projects that we have recently announced in the press, because it's great coming from him. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Telegram and TON ecosystem. In case you didn't know, a lot of the biggest investors in this country and around the world have already made significant, sizable investments in the only things that you can get access to in the Telegram and TON ecosystem until we arrived, which was TON token and Telegram bonds. Those have been the only two opportunities to invest in Telegram, and everyone, as I said, from Coinbase and Pantera on the digital asset side to Sequoia, Ribbit, Benchmark, everybody has invested in this ecosystem, but no one has yet had any public market access to everything that produces revenue within Telegram, and we see that as the biggest opportunity, given that you are not going to be able to buy shares in Telegram the way that you can buy shares in Meta. And of course, I have a personal opinion about investing in Meta and giving people a more ethical choice for their investments, and knowing that this is a platform where you're not going to have the type of brand reputational issues that Meta obviously has. Telegram is one of the most exciting opportunities in the entirety of the technology space, not just crypto and digital assets. And we are so passionate about that. And there's quite a lot of us that are joining this team because we all believe in the mission. The most exciting thing about TON as well, we believe this is a very undervalued asset. This is not financial advice. And that's why we are rapidly accumulating it at these levels as TON is fully vertically integrated throughout the Telegram ecosystem. This year alone, the daily active users on TON went from 5 million to over 200 million. So just think that alone, out of all of the top 20, 30 blockchains, there are very few of them that are a 5 or 10x opportunity, with just everybody in Telegram starting to realize that they have a wallet and have access. They already own on-chain assets, but they're not moving them around because they don't realize. So it's an education and awareness opportunity, and why we want to be one of the public microphones for Telegram and really communicate this to the Western markets, and specifically the US market, that, hey, you've got a crypto wallet on your phone. You can earn crypto by using all of the different mini apps in Telegram. You can financially empower yourself, and you can't be deleted, and none of your data is going anywhere except for where you want it to go. So there's just a huge growth trajectory. As I said, Telegram is going from 1 billion to 1.5 billion users very quickly. We believe in the next 3 to 5 years that it can rival or outpace Meta with the right investment strategy from external parties like ourselves. So if you look at TON versus Solana or Ethereum, it has a lot of the speed and interest in use, but TON is the only digital asset that is attached to a 1 billion+ user ecosystem. So we just see it as an insane opportunity that we are so proud to bring to market. TON has really, as I said, exploded recently, and now there's a couple 100 million users, and we can get that to over 1 billion quite quickly. And Telegram is really positioned to challenge a lot of these legacy platform giants, because probably what a lot of people here don't think about is that if you are launching an app, and I think a lot of people here have launched an app on iOS in the Google Play Store, and tried to, or even applied to try to launch something in a Meta property, especially WhatsApp. If you are a crypto company, you've probably been denied over and over and over and over. And if you are a non-crypto company that managed to get it through, the fees are insane. The fees make it very hard to actually generate revenue, especially if you have a company with thin margins. So the App Store in Telegram is open. You can just build and launch. No one at Telegram is approving you. You can just go and build things and launch them to 1 billion monthly active users. So it's just a huge opportunity for building and launching businesses. It's a huge opportunity for the openness and the permission structures, and to be more profitable than you could be on the Google Play Store, on iOS, in Meta. So that's the huge opportunity for entrepreneurs, not just our investors. So our executive leadership team, I've talked about Enzo and Yuri. We also have Wes Levitt, who's recently joined as our CFO. We also have our Chief Partnerships Officer here. Will, raise your hand. Where are you? Hey. In terms of board members and advisors, we have Michael Turpin, who is one of our directors on our board, Anthony Scaramucci, who's one of our strategic advisors, as well as Jamie Rosinski, the founder of Wall Street Bets, and Ted Moskowitz and Matt McKibben. Matt, raise your hand, from Hyla Funds and Decentranet. So the obligatory legal guidelines that I will put up briefly. And in general, I would like to wrap it up so that you guys have plenty of time to hear what Enzo has to tell you. So again, so honored to have you guys all here. So excited about the amount of support and partnership and investment that people in this room have given us. By backing us, you're backing one of the world's most legendary founders, and you're backing the biggest opportunity in ethical technology, in on-chain technology, in social media, and the highest growth platform that is available for investors at the moment. So really excited to have you here, excited to tell you more. Please come and see me afterwards. And for now, I will hand it over to Enzo. Thank you so much.